Hi everybody, this is Mason Winfield in late February with another installment of Psi-Friday with Mason. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Black Dog. Now, one thing I've long been interested in is the categories in which ghosts are reported to appear. Apparition forms, I call it. Now, I don't know of a study anywhere of apparition forms in their archetypes, like little girl ghost, white lady, old soldier, old chief, I don't know of a study like that. I wish there was one. If anybody knows, let me know. But in my experience as a researcher, certain ghostly forms come up very commonly. One that's rare in the United States is the one I call the Black Dog. It's much more common in Europe. The Black Dog is often really big, often obviously supernatural. It's not an ordinary animal ghost. It's got red eyes or something, or green eyes, or red and green, or whatever. It's monstrous, it's demonic. And it's often associated with graveyards in Europe. Here in the United States, it's a very rare apparition. And I know of one near where I live in East Aurora. It's a cemetery called Goodleburg. You know how in Young Frankenstein, every time somebody says "Fraubucha," in the background you hear the horses go at it. It's like in my life when you say Goodleburg, the horses go. It's like it's just a cursed cemetery, and it's gotten me into trouble. But that's the only place I can think of in my whole region where the apparition of the Black Dog is reported. The Black Dog seems to have a couple of associations, though. In the broad spectrum of folklore and mythology, the Black Dog is often thought of as a servant of either the devil or the light powers. Its goal sometimes is to protect cemeteries. Because let's face it, cemeteries are not for the living, especially irreverent living. I mean, my native friends say a prayer before they go into cemeteries. But sometimes this Black Dog form is associated with the hounds of hell. And they have lots of different nicknames. But the job of the Hellhounds is to drive the souls of the evildoers to hell. So they're working for the devil, because that's what the devil wants. But in that respect, they're also working for God, because that's what God has decided to tolerate. This was the plan. So it puts the Hellhounds in a kind of a funny category. And it reminds me strongly of this sublime poem written by a British poet, Francis Thompson. The poem is called The Hound of Heaven. And it was written in the Victorian era, meaning later 1800s. And I think is the only poem for which Francis Thompson is remembered anymore. But he really hit it with that one. It's kind of long, about 182 lines. It's The Hound of Heaven. You should read it. I fled him down the nights and down the days. Marvelous. But the third thing that is often overlapping with these black dogs is a phenomenon, very mysterious phenomenon in world mythology, particularly the West, called the wild hunt. It's like this procession in the sky. And in the fall, when you hear the geese going overhead, and they'll often hit you by surprise. Sometimes you don't hear the geese a long way away. There's a tree line, and you're out in the fields looking at the moon or something on an autumn night. They come over you with a clap. And with the wild hunt, you get all these imaginations going when you hear these geese. It's really sublime. And the wild hunt is kind of a procession that goes across the sky. And it's got hunters, and it's right out of Odin and the Valkyries. They're very often stereotyped as Germanic. They got these horned helmets, and they're flying on carts and chariots and horses, and accompanied by these gigantic, menacing hunting hounds. The wild hunt it's something that needs a lot of examination to really be understood. I think the best way to understand it is that it's a morph of traditions that fell into this one beautiful image. But there actually is a pagan newsletter out there called The Wild Hunt. And in some circles, it's that prominent. So I think we will end our installment this week by thanking you for joining us again. This mysterious apparition we call the Black Dog. If you ever see one, call me up. Be right there. See you next week.